1,000 will volunteer with the goal of raising $45 million for Dana-Farber. Bringing our total since 1980 to $500 million. I'm further pleased to announce that as of today, we went over $20.5 million, which is over 10% more than a year ago today. This is the pace we have to achieve for all you math majors to get us from 41 to $45 million. On Saturday night, November 14th, hold the date, we will host a big party where we will announce our gift. That evening, we will return to the Black Falcon Terminal, where our ferries arrived from Provincetown and where we hosted our first major party, our 15th anniversary party in 1994. Here's hoping that our dancing skills have not diminished even as our fundraising muscles flex ever stronger. This year's registration is made up of 75% alumni, including 87% of last year's heavy hitters. To help us achieve our goals, we provide very modest but effective incentives. This year's heavy hitter plateau is $7,200, and we expect more than 2,000 PMCers to fly over that bar. And the top 10%, that's what you established, 574 of you from last year, raised an average of $11,300. So this year's heavy hitter gift is a set of New Balance leg warmers, a reminder to all what you want when faced with a day of rain. Not this year. I want to thank 9-year alumnus and New Balance CEO, co-presenting sponsor Rob DiMartini for producing and underwriting the leg warmers and all our active wear, including 6,400 cycling jerseys and 14,000 t-shirts. And thank you to our co-presenting sponsor for the 13th year, the Boston Red Sox Foundation. I'm proud to once again say that our logo was up on for the PMC Day at Fenway in June, and it's back up there now for their 10-game homestand, which included the retirement of Pedro Martinez's number. Does anybody else feel the good karma that Pedro's number, 45, and our fundraising goal are the same? Thanks to our media partner, WBZ-TV, for extending our live opening ceremonies broadcast from 30 to 60 minutes. We anticipate more than 50,000 people watching in addition to the 2,000 of you in the room tonight. We have a new official radio station this year, 105.7 WROR, and their longtime morning show hosts Lauren and Wally. They'll join a new 17-member team riding from the radio station. Welcome, boys. We have announced 2 new cause marketing ventures. In addition to the Dunkin' Donuts 10 million cups and Alex and Ani's global bike bangle, we're now working with Trancaro Family Estates in Napa Valley, California, and Martinetti Liquors. We introduced this year 192 Red Wine Blend. We introduced it at this year's Heavy Hitter Dinner. You can now buy it all over Massachusetts, Connecticut, and New Hampshire, as well as online. And it's a bargain. It's a $30 wine for 15 bucks. Working with Harpoon, a 19-year PMC sponsor, we brewed Harpoon 192 beer. It also can be found bottled on tap all over Massachusetts. Purchases benefit the PMC. So, order big, but drink in moderation. Both the beer and the wine will be served this weekend. Thank you to all our sponsors, and in particular our hub site sponsors, PwC and FSS Investment Management, for making our presentation bigger and better through the weekend. I want to introduce everyone to new PMC Chairman David Fialco, 29-year rider, long-term corporate sponsor. He began his 3-year term in April. Dave just waved, no lines. He announced his 3-year term in April with a bang, announcing that he would raise $1 million in honor of our $500 million 36-year goal. David's now the managing partner of General Catalyst, a Cambridge, Mass. venture capital firm. And among the talent in their stable are PMC alumnus and industry leaders Paul English, founder of Kayak, and Ben Fishman, founder of Rue La La. Working with the PMC's David Hellman and developer Bob Rainis, we have launched a true breakthrough fundraising iPhone mobile app. The PMC app is the most dynamic fundraising manager ever, with comprehensive tracking, instant notifications of donations, and the facility to immediately thank your donor with a text or an email. We've come a long way from the Pony Express. But for the first time ever, we have both the governor of the Commonwealth and the mayor of Boston riding. It will be good to have Charlie and Marty mount up for the PMC. At May's heavy hitter dinner, they both revealed that their combined training mileage are lower than my final collegiate grade point average. That same evening, we also learned that President Ed Benz would be stepping down in June 2016 after almost 16 years as president of Dana-Farber. Therefore, this is his last Sturbridge appearance in the role of the president. Under Ed's leadership, Dana-Farber has grown from a regional cancer center to a world-class destination for physicians and patients to undergo treatment, and Dana-Farber now brings its special care to more than 3 times as many people across the region. At the same time, their researchers have made significant breakthroughs in cancer genetics, immunotherapies, and in pediatric cancers, to name just a few that are saving lives today. Over 550,000 people per year now fund critical support to Dana-Farber, almost half of whom now do it through the PMC. Will you please welcome Dr. Edward Benz.
Thank you so much. Thanks so very, very much. We have a very crowded agenda tonight, and so Billy said I have 2.5 minutes to speak. I just wasted 10% of that, telling you that. I have just a few things to tell you. You've heard these phenomenal numbers about what you do. And because this is my last chance to address you in this capacity, I just wanted to have a couple messages to leave behind. The first is, you know, like all organizations, Dana-Farber has its core values, and right at the top of the list of our core values is impact, making a difference. That's what you do. You have incredible impact, and you make an unbelievable difference, and you make it possible for us to have the impact and to make the differences that we do by our clinical care and clinical research. So we cannot possibly thank you enough for what you enable us to do. The second thing I wanted to tell you is, even though we've written up for you to look at, it's on the website, the ways in which all of these funds that you have raised and are raising are changing the face of cancer care, changing the face of cancer research, and making it possible, that you should have absolutely no doubt that everything that Dana-Farber is able to do has your signatures on it. Maybe I should say it has your pedal prints on it. That whether we are able to find other sources of funds or not to contribute to the support of our research projects, our recruitment and retention of the very best faculty, that there is always support from the PMC that is able to allow us to actually accomplish those things, to bring those faculty in, to support their work, to provide the kinds of clinical care that are not reimbursed by any of the standard mechanisms. So you are making a difference. You're having an incredible impact, certainly on the Dana-Farber, but more importantly on our patients and on patients all over the world. The next thing I want to tell you is that I think we need to top this $500 million goal. So I want to say that in my last year as president of Dana-Farber, and in the instructions I leave for my successor, that Dana-Farber will keep the lights on 24/7 to make sure that your $500 million gets translated through our research and clinical care to far more than 1 billion lives saved from dying of cancer. And you will make that possible as you continue to have the impact every year. Then the last thing I want to say before I get the hook is what an honor and privilege it's been to be part of the PMC. I got to ride for 1 year, as you know, before I realized that my career as a bike rider probably had its limits. But coming out here, meeting all of you, getting to know and actually become friends with you through the ride and all the events surrounding it has been a real highlight of my time as president of Dana-Farber. Sometime around this time next year, sort of toward the end of June, I will be helping to orient my successor. And that person's going to want to know what the best parts of the job are. And I'm going to tell them this ride, this night, and all of you are right at the front of the list of what makes it such a privilege to be the president of Dana-Farber. Thank you so very, very much.
4,613 riders from the great state of Massachusetts. Congratulations to everyone for making the PMC an international event. I want to tell a story from the last year's PMC trip with Divine Cycling and Adventure in Croatia. It was an extraordinary by every tangible measure of a cycling vacation, but as is true in this industry, the guides make the trip. So it was with the 12 of us. Our guides, native Croatians, had studied up on both the PMC and Dana-Farber and were fascinated with the idea of bike-a-thons providing public funding for pressing global health issues. Events like the PMC are very rare in Europe, or anywhere for that matter. Soon after our trip concluded, we learned that one of our guides' father had been diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. Our PMC Divine community quickly mobilized in an attempt to bring him to Dana-Farber for treatment. Sadly, he declined and soon passed away very quickly. Soon after that, we thought that our group could do a mitzvah for our guide friend, Mio Bebic, and unbeknownst to him, donate to his virtual PMC account so that he could attain eligibility to ride this weekend and purge some of the universal pain that cancer causes in families. I am pleased to introduce our first Croatian rider and someone who will be a great PMC ambassador in Croatia and beyond. Mio Bebic, stand up, meet your new extended family. As usual, we have some exceptional people amongst us. How about extending an early 80th birthday to Ron Brown of Brookline, Mass., who will be making his 21st 192-mile ride from Sturbridge. Ron, take a bow. I want to take a minute to acknowledge the battle being fought by 29-year rider David Fisher. David is the spiritual anchor of a large community of PMC riders from Medfield and surrounding towns. Recently on a morning training ride, David was hit by a car and remains in the hospital fighting what will be a long battle for full recovery. David, you are in our thoughts. This year's PMC will have over 600 living proof riders and volunteers taking part in the weekend. This past year, we put a new focus on the Living Proof program with the help of my friend and award-winning photographer, Mike Casey. A year in the works, Mike worked alongside staff and Living Proof riders and volunteers to create stunning images and a video, which were showcased at the Museum of Fine Arts at a wonderful event in March. That same video opened our show this evening. 1 month ago, we lost a special member of that project and our tribe. Andy Eliopoulos was a 14-year rider, 14-year heavy hitter, cancer survivor, and team captain of Nashua Rides for Hope, who passed away unexpectedly on his PMC training ride. I'm going to quote Andy to offer some insight into his character. Regarding why he rides, he said, quote, "It's an obligation of the cured. In prior years, somebody else did the heavy work of riding and fundraising that led to the cure that provided me with a new lease on life. I believe that the work we do now will help someone unknown to me somewhere in the future." End quote. Unfortunately, I must also inform you that 2 days ago, 11-year rider Joe Trustee and his daughter Anna were killed in a small plane crash outside Milwaukee, Wisconsin, returning from a Midwest college tour. Joe was an 11-year rider, founding partner of Team Daisy Summit Partners, which has a 42-member team in this year's ride. Let's pause for a moment to honor Joe and Andy's memory and all those who have inspired us to line up on PMC weekend. Thank you.
You're sweet like a melon, sly like a felon, and I've been watching you dance all night. The party's slowing, how about going on a walk with me outside? The stars are out, it's a perfect sky. What if we only had tonight? What if we never see the sunrise? I don't wanna wait for the right time for you and me to stop this run around. So let your hair fall down. Let your hair fall down. I'm a whiskey drinker, a late night thinker, and I've been wanting to figure you out. I like tea with my honey, I don't have much money, but I can show you what life's about. The world's as big as we can dream. What if we only had tonight? What if we never see the sunrise? I don't wanna wait for the right time for you and me to stop this run around. So let your hair fall down. Let your hair fall down. And such, look at you all dressed in white, and I may not run in your path, but I will get your back. What if we only have tonight? What if we never see the sunrise? I don't wanna wait for the right time. Stop this run around. What if we only had tonight? What if we never see the sunrise? I don't wanna wait for the right time for you and me to stop this run around. So let your hair fall down. Let your hair fall down. Let it fall down.
That looks like a lot of fun, didn't it? It only took 28 takes in about 12 hours, but it was a lot of fun. That was longtime PMC entertainers, the Adam Ezra Group, with the song Let Your Hair Down. With multiple cameos from the PMC Living Proof community and staff. You'll hear Adam and the Adam Ezra Group tomorrow afternoon at the Mass Maritime Academy. This spring, I received the call that is now all too familiar to me. Another PMCer is suddenly diagnosed with cancer. In this case, it was one of my best friends, all the way back to kindergarten, 28-year rider Donnie Wexler from Moortown, Vermont. The stories between us are endless, as befits old friends, so I will only tell one. His wife, Lise, had the honor of giving birth to Vermont's first New Year's baby in 1993, their second daughter, Faye. My wife, Meredith, and I were frequent guests at the Wexler house, as well as that special time. The Wexlers had a very comfortable living room, and I had a habit of sort of launching myself into a particular couch to read the morning's paper. Only on this morning, an understandably exhausted couple had laid their new sleeping baby on the same couch. Yes, I was about to introduce myself to baby Faye while airborne into the same couch. In an instant, I recognized that my chances of being invited back were bleak if I squashed the baby. So I contorted my body and crashed into some lighting and otherwise replaceable items. And baby Faye lived to bike another day. Yes, we all had a lot of laughs about that over the years. I might add that both daughters, Chloe and Faye, are now 5- and 3-year riders respectively. But this newest sharing between us was much more sober. Donnie had been diagnosed with a rare acinar cell carcinoma that had attached itself to his liver and pancreas. We quickly got Donnie into Dana-Farber, and he began a chemo regimen through the spring. The Wexler family has been steadfast in health and humor, and their community has embraced them and Donnie's challenge. I'm here to share with you and end on a very up note that Donnie's tumors have shrunk. He is officially in remission and is riding the PMC Sturbridge to Provincetown yet again. And that one week after completing the PMC, Donnie will have minimally invasive procedure to remove the tumor on his liver, and later in the summer, the same to eliminate the tumor on his pancreas, and thereby putting this troubling chapter of his life in the rearview mirror. Talk about linking the PMC mantra of closer by the mile to real life experience. Wex, you are an inspiration to us all. I and everyone in this room are rooting for you to have the best. Will the Wexler family stand up and take a bow? All right, that's part one. Stay in your seats, please. We need just 5 minutes, and then we're going live. Thank you all. Have a great weekend. Here we go.
All right, as Billy said, nobody move, because we've got another hour for live television with stories and live interviews and special guests and appearances, at least by one Hall of Famer, and we want you to be a part of it. We want to keep the energy super high, and David's going to take it away.
We want you to be loud. We want you to have fun. There's going to be plenty of shots of the crowd. There's a good chance if you want to text somebody at home, let them know that you're probably going to be on TV, because we're going to be zooming across the crowd to get everyone on television. We're about 4 minutes out from the show.
You folks in back, we got some seats back here. You might as well get into the room while you can.
And we're
Unless
gonna be
you're comfortable where you are. Okay.